Here we are back again, Mark and Jeff, and we're ready to talk a little bit. I set this up that I thought, I'm telling you, hey, we'll do it in the morning. And I thought I'd stay away from people that maybe aren't streaming about some of the stuff that we're going to talk about. And I messed up again, but we'll still go because I scheduled this and we'll still go but Emily C., who's a great content creator, great. She's talking about the Sandra Birchmore case, and that's something that I was going to talk to you about and had you look it up a little bit and everything. It's a sad case. Boston, basically right here says, everything that MLC is going on at 10 now to discuss Sandra Birchmore case. It's portrayal of the Massachusetts, Staunton, and Canton PD, Norfolk County DA. So that's the one I was telling you about. They groomed her. The Sandra Birchmore wanted to be a cop as a kid, young kid, and got into I believe it's called the Explorers, where they take the young kids and kind of teach them a little bit what's going on with the cops, the police and all that. Well, they ended up grooming her and then started having sex with her. I think it was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
The
Crazy.
cops did. A few cops, not just one cop, a few cops, Mark.
Wow.
And just a crazy story, crazy story. And then fast forward, into, I think she was 20, 21 years old, whatever it was. And she ended up being pregnant. And this one cop, Matthew, I believe it's Matthew Farwell, but him and his brother were having sex, plus a couple other people were having sex with her. And anyway, this Matthew Farwell thought that he was the father of the baby, I guess. And like I told you last night, at the same time, he was having a baby with his wife in the hospital. And then he went over to, I guess, unalive her. And he does that. The Norfolk County DA will not charge him because who knows. But then the feds came in and charged him. And Norfolk County DA, which is the same county that, of course, Karen Reed was charged in.
Wow.
And they got their hands in this one too. And it just continues to be some weird things out in that area. But it seems like it's all in Massachusetts because there's a lot of things happening out there. And so
Why
Emily
do you think
sees
it's isolated just to Massachusetts. What do you is it something with the water or eating too much, lobster? What's going on?
We hear, it's all over corruption. It's all over. We all know that. I mean, Chicago, Cook County has been corrupt for how many years? And
It's never.
And then I heard this morning that there's two sheriffs in Indiana that have done some weird things with money, and now they're under the scope. But I think the Massachusetts thing, it because of the big trial of Karen Reed, just blew this thing wide open. And then you got so many content creators on YouTube that talked about that hit that at the right time. And so I think it just put a spotlight on that whole area. And then it just kept on snowballing. Like there's stuff that came out of that trial. And then, this Birchmore case. And then later on, it's the Kelsey Fitzsimmons thing where she was a cop and she had a baby with this fireman. And he, for some reason, decided to get a restraining order. And she, said a bunch of bad things about her, which I didn't understand how you get a restraining order when you don't check those things out.
Right.
You got a restraining order, and then they come and take the baby that she just had. And she was in postpartum, depression type thing. And, he said that she was going to harm the baby. I don't even think that was the case. And so and then the cops come and, they're going to take the baby. And she's upstairs. And then if you read the story, she says she put her gun to her head. And the cop that was her partner, get this, was her partner on the force. He's at the doorway and decides to shoot her because he said the gun was pointed towards him, which she was acquitted of. and she didn't get any charges for that. Went to court, and she's good. But they still took her baby, and she has not seen her baby. And just a crazy story too. And again, that was in North Andover. And so I think it's just everything coming out. I mean, then you have this dirty cops. Some weird things. I mean, cops pulling people over and having, tell them they'll get out of tickets if they have sex. It's just a crazy. I'm just glad that when you were out there, that no cop pulled you over and said, "Mark, you got to do a little bit here in the back seat."
I would have gone to jail. I had so many things going on in my life. Yeah, they would have strung me up right there on the highway. But what's interesting, as you're saying, so much of this stuff is focused on Massachusetts. But I think you're finding like some of these. How do I describe them? These reporters, like the young kid who went to Minneapolis and exposed. Then he went to California. Now, I think a lot of these young journalists are just sticking their nose in there, and now we're hearing about all this corruption all over the country, not just in Massachusetts, but now in Florida. They have an issue with people in the medical device rental world.
Right.
They're renting equipment to people that they're not alive, and then all the hospice care, they don't show up. So I think you're just going to see more and more examples of fraud all over the country because, all these YouTube folks investigate this.
And that's what it is. It's the YouTube stuff. And because the normal, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, a lot of them don't even touch these stories because they just don't, they just don't want to do it. So you need somebody. And like I said, with Aidan Carney, he's the guy that goes by Turtle Boy. He was the one that really got the Karen Read. I mean, he got aboard of the Karen Read thing and just blew it wide open. And it's people like him, and then others jumped on after him and brought their people to listen to the story too. And it was just, I got angry watching that trial. You called me a couple of times.
Yeah.
I got angry because I thought the judge was dirty, and I still think the judge was a little dirty. I think, everybody, and I'll tell you this, and you'll read some of the stuff about Karen Read. I have a different opinion than a lot of people. A lot of people think that it was the ATF guy that maybe unalived John O'Keefe. And I have a whole different, I just don't believe, I believe he knows who did it. I believe he was there and when it happened, but I believe it's the young Colin Elbert that did it. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think any of them would have covered up this Brian Higgins, the ATF guy. I just don't think they would have been as loyal as what Brian Elbert, the owner of the house, it would have been his nephew, the one that I think that took a shot at John O'Keefe. And then I think John probably fell or something and hit his head. And that's what I think happened.
Yeah.
But I don't think the whole Higgins thing is something that they would have went to their graves and kept covered up. I don't know. But
so where does this stand right now?
Well, see, they're not even looking, I don't think, for the murder. I mean, for the person that murdered him, because in Norfolk County they believe that Karen Read backed into him, and there's one thing that I will get you when we keep going here. It's this Joseph Paul, this trooper. He was an accident reconstructionist, and you only have, if you're somewhat smart, you only have to listen to this guy's testimony.
Yeah.
And you don't have to hear anything else in the Karen Read trial. Just listen to this guy's testimony. And I guarantee you're going to go, okay, that's, she's not guilty. Yeah. And it's, but that's what I truly believe it's Colin Elbert. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know if that's true. And, I'd love, if they want to come and sue me for that opinion, that's fine. And, but he's the son of Chris Elbert, which is Brian Elbert, who owns the house that John O'Keefe was at, and they found him on the lawn. Chris Albert is the brother. Chris Albert's son is Colin Albert. And Chris Albert, back in the 90s, middle 90s, I guess, he was driving drunk and hit somebody, a college student, and unalived that person, but he ran Mark from the scene.
Running.
And when they finally found him, they gave him 6 months in jail.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
No, and he was drunk. And so as you see, the Albert family, it seems like, gets away with a lot of stuff over in that area. And the reason being is, I guess, Brian Albert and the another brother, Kevin, were both cops. Brian was a cop in Boston. And do you remember the show on TV, Boston Finest? Donnie Wahlberg had something to do with it. It was a producer or something.
It's still going, yeah. I haven't watched it, but it's still going.
I think it's reruns now, but maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going anymore. But anyway, Brian Albert was on there as one of the cops when they were focusing on the Boston area and everything. So he got a little bit of name for him there. But there's just so many things in that trial. I mean, to rewatch some of it with you would just take days. Yeah. And it's better to read about some of the stuff and then talk about it, because now it seems like with all that trouble, now we're going into the fact that there's other things that have been uncovered, and it's just crazy stuff. I don't know why.
Well, it sounds like there's enough crazy stuff out east that you could spend days talking about.
Yeah, and I mean the stuff that's going on now. Like I said, this Kelsey Fitzsimmons, she's coming to family court now to try to get her son back. Yeah. And her boyfriend, ex-fiance, he did another affidavit and came up with, he only wants her to see the child for 5 hours a week. I mean, just crazy stuff. And this is the guy, what I told you, he's a drug guy. He loves, smoke pot. I guess it's legal out there, but I guess it's not legal for firemen to smoke pot.
I'm glad.
I don't think you want him running into your house, trying to save it.
Running up the ladder.
But he's doing acid. And get this, they went on a little weekend getaway, and he didn't want to carry the acid in his truck, so he put it in his fiance, in Kelsey Fitzsimmons' vehicle. And then she carried it up to where they were going in for their little weekend getaway. And so then he said, well, she got really mad at me and she hit me and everything. Well, like he only got away with that.
Yeah, no kidding. He should have been pushing daisies.
Because if she got stopped, that'd have been the end of it for for her career. But it's just, and I think, like you said, it's the YouTube. It's kind of like, what I say, when we were younger kids, we never really heard about the whole how many people are angry when it becomes politics.
Right.
And I think the reason why is because we didn't have the internet.
No.
And we didn't have to, hear about it. So we didn't know how people were so angry about Democrats.
You had to go to the tavern and listen to all the drunks at the bar telling about the stuff. And well, when
especially
you were 14, you were there.
Especially in Maplewood, Wisconsin.
Oh, Maplewood, yeah. That was a hotbed of good bar patron at Wardeck's Tap and at the Browns on the corner. And
in Carson's?
Yeah, quintessential Wisconsin town. 100 people, 3 bars, a church, and a grocery store.
I forgot about the grocery store. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Hellman's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Many times stopped in there. But, you that's every town basically in Wisconsin, isn't it? Where you have the bars and the church.
Yeah, and that's how you got your information, all the political knowledge and who's screwing over who. And now we got people like you and the rest of the crew digging into some of this stuff and making people aware, or at least question it.
And I have a real good friend that's running for sheriff in our county here where we grew up. And I always tell him, I said, don't become a YouTube star.
Yeah. Good advice.
About it, but it's true, because you get into this whole political thing. It's crazy, and I can read the comments. And so if you want to, go ahead and say something. Now, don't be mean. If you're going to be mean, then we're just not going to even put the comment up here. So, but I will allow you to talk and do your thing.
Yeah.
Because I believe in the First Amendment, right? Say what you want.
You always told me to shut up. I don't think that's First Amendment.
Here's something. I think it was last week, somebody said, do you have the thick skin for this on YouTube? Because people can really get bad, all right? And I said, yeah, I do, because I grew up with some people. I grew up with a guy like Mark, who was very mean to me when I was a kid. and
you're so full of crap.
The time here is 10:39 a.m. 10:39. We're in the Central Daylight Time, and that's where we are. So, but yeah, I think I have I have thick skin. I have, like I said, I can just get rid of them, but I really don't want to do that, because I'd rather hear what they got to say and just move. If they want to get mean, where they're going to be swearing and all that kind of stuff, well, then I just won't put their comments up.
Are we the only ones allowed to swear? I think we should have that as a guideline.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about if you're going to swear, but don't direct it. Don't say, "Hey, Mark's an effing retard." I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. See, I'm hurt now for you even suggesting that, because I'm sensitive. You have thick skin. I'm very thin skinned, Jeff.
Says this looks so. I'm surprised to see just 3 live watching. I got 12 watching, so I don't know where this person.
You see any of that stuff? 12.
I have on X. I have 10, and then on the YouTube it's 2. Yes, we need to get the YouTube up. We have to. I want 100 by the end of the day today. 100 subscribers.
Right.
So we got to hit the like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe. We're at 75. We gained 2 last night, or maybe 4. 4 we gained.
Jeff, are you the only one that can see the number of people?
It should be up on your top left of your screen, of your where you see both of us. It should be in the top left where it says live and then the minutes.
I see live, and on top it's a scrolling thing of Mad Stork Media. Oh, now I see. No, that's your name. No, I don't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I got 12. So whatever that is. And X's numbers are kind of weird. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, if we can get to 100 by the end of the day, we have 75. That's 25 more. Now, I know we have to get to 1,000 to get monetized so that we can, put our Venmo. You didn't send me your Venmo thing either. But so we got it, but we can still, do Venmo and Cash Apps and all that. But like I said, our main goal here is to get the channel going. It's not so much about the money. It's, we want to get going here so that we know what we're going to present in this. And I appreciate somebody, saying that it looks professional, because I spend a lot of time trying to figure out the microphones and how to present it that way, and cameras and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm sitting in a living room today. I'm not in my studio again, only because when I go back into the studio, it's so dark and dungy.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of like the living room where I can look outside. I got a window, but my studio is all soundproofed and everything. And so I get kind of this, where and plus it gets really hot because the temperatures are changing and everything. But what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to focus on the Massachusetts area. We will talk about other areas, and, we'll see what happens. So this guy, right away, we start with bad things. So he wants to know how, but I'll let him at least ask you this, and maybe you have, maybe you can help him. I don't know. But see, this is what I worry about. There's trolls, and this is what'll happen. So we're going to probably have to block this guy. And I don't know, I hate to do that because I should allow him to talk and say whatever he wants. But, this is just stupid.
I don't
So what do you-
understand it. How do I?
Well, he wants to
approach
approach women, Hispanic women, and he's just 19. So he wants your, opinion, I guess,
I
how
would
he does
start
that.
by learning Spanish. There you go. Learn how to speak to them in their, if she's
In their native
maybe
tongue.
she's an immigrant. So my advice to you is, learn how to speak Spanish, and after that, then see how many rejections you get, and then come back and ask us. We'll have another opinion.
Right.
There it is.
So it's like I said, that's stuff that I don't want to I just won't put them on. It was what happens. But like I said, I don't want to block people, but I guess there's going to be there's people that have to be blocked, and but we're not going to contact. Exactly. Exactly.
We'll see if I'll get this message out to my family and see somebody tune in. Actually, I sent something over to my son in Louisiana. Let's see what
we got to get
about a messed up state.
We got to get your dad watching. He'd be so proud of us.
He would be. Oh man.
He'd be sitting there going, "There, I paid for that college degree right there."
Yeah, we'll get him yelling at the screen. He's pretty tech savvy, surprisingly, at 94. He tries to FaceTime with the grandkids and stuff like that, but he can't hear, so he puts the camera up against his hairy ear. That's not a good sight. It's like, Dad, look at the camera. Don't stick the phone in your ear.
So what we have then today is, like I said, we were going to go into the Sandra Birchmore, and now with Emily C. doing it. Like I said, I didn't see anybody going on this morning. That's why I kind of, put it
maybe
together.
She's at a different time zone. Maybe she went on at.
She was in Massachusetts. She lives. Actually, she's
so
right. I guess she's right in Canton.
Yeah, she might have gone 9 our time, 10 their time.
I think. Yeah, that's what it would have been. She'd have been on an hour before. So, but so I'm. There's other things that we can talk about that's going on in Massachusetts. Mike Vrabel, the coach of the Patriots, that's a big story out there. Him and Diana Rossini, the reporter. And I know a lot of people don't believe it that are Patriots fan. They're saying, "Well, they were just hanging out."
Was he playing quarterback?
He was. I don't know. He was playing something though.
They were in
and they keep on saying that they keep on saying that they were in hot tub with other people. The pictures that they're showing, they must have somehow canceled the other people because you don't see.
Maybe they're underwater. Maybe they were snorkeling.
It could be
possible. Then you would see bubbles or something coming up.
Mike Vrabel's a great coach. I'm not bashing him about his coaching. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, why is he out with Diana Rossini? That's all I'm asking.
They're exchanging notes. Who's married? Are they both married?
Both married. Yeah, not to each other.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
he was just doing an interview, right?
Could have been. She was. Yep, on the team. Yep.
In their underwear.
Probably trying to get some really good information from him about the team. Who's the draft is coming up, Mark.
Yeah, it was an inside scoop. Maybe that.
Yeah, she wanted to know who they're going to pick in the draft. So she thought, hey, let's get in the hot tub and talk about it.
We're giving him a lot of rope on this one. Right. Yeah. Right. Everybody here who can write and be sarcastic knows that we're just trying to sarcasm, right?
Right.
They were doing some game planning.
I like Vrabel, so don't sit there and think that I don't like Vrabel, because I do. And so I think he's a great coach. I think he would have been a great Green Bay Packer coach. But, we're stuck with this LaFleur guy that is just horrible.
He's not horrible. He just needs an offensive coordinator.
He needs something. So, but that's that's a story out there in Massachusetts that everybody's talking about. And like I said, there's more about, there's a cop that was drunk driving too, and they kept it under wraps for a couple of years, I guess, Mark. He was drunk driving and he killed somebody, unalived somebody, and was never charged. Well, now he's charged. And it's like, well, how do they get away with this stuff? And then it's like, nobody knows anything about it. It's just crazy stuff. It's crazy. But like I said, maybe it's just because there's such a spotlight now in Massachusetts too. I don't know. So you got some people, your fan club, are they texting you or what?
Yeah, well, I'm looking up. I tried to do a little prep for this show, and so I went on controversy and conspiracies in Massachusetts, and pretty much they had just the ones that you've already mentioned. Nothing went any further. I'm like, well, that's no good.
Yeah, like I said, it's as we go here, we'll get more and more into some of the stuff that everybody's talking about. But yeah, those are the big ones. And like I said, Karen Reed is now into the civil part of where's John O'Keefe.
Have they gone to trial yet?
No, John O'Keefe is, his family is suing. Here's something that when you get to going on the Karen Reed thing, John O'Keefe's brother, Paul, this guy was a piece of work.
Oh, really?
And yeah, while he was sitting in courtroom, he was making hand signals because of, this trial was on TV. He was making hand signals to a woman in New Jersey, Mark, that, basically, telling her, giving her little, hand signals about, he was thinking of her and all this. And here Paul is sitting next to his wife in the courtroom, and he's giving these hand signals. And it was a crazy thing. But then this girl who kind of catfished him or whatever she did, she decides, of all people, she decides to send all of the information, all the texts and everything to Turtle Boy. Well, what do you think Turtle Boy did with it?
Well, he talked about it. Let's
so
bring it out.
So that was something that I just sat and I thought, really, this is going to go on now. And that's what it was. It was just a circus after a circus. There were so many clowns in the whole story, and it was just a circus. And and this is something that I asked you, when I first talked to you about it. Nobody can ever tell me that if you find a dead person, say you find a dead person on your lawn this morning, right? You're telling me that the cops in your area are not going to say, Mark, can we go in the house?
Yeah.
And at this place, they never went in the house, Mark. They never did anything with the house.
They just assumed right away.
They just
done.
Pinned it on the girl. And you can't tell me that your first instinct as a cop, as an investigator, is we better go separate the people that were in the house and get the stories. Yeah. And they never did that. I mean, some people they never even talked to.
It sounds like Cop 101, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, they didn't do it at all. And so there's so many different stories, and Paul was a piece of work, and John O'Keefe's mother, I mean, she was a piece of work. He tried to feel sorry for her because she had lost two children. Her daughter had cancer. She lost her. And then John, of course. And you try to feel sorry for her, but then she would be, giving the finger to Turtle Boy, at court. And it would be this, foolish stuff. And I know everybody mourns different ways, but, Turtle Boy is not the one that unalived her son. So, I mean, it was crazy. And like I said, Turtle Boy brought this all out, and he challenged all the networks, to bring, start talking about it. And then eventually they have to, right? Because it goes to court and it's picking up steam. So then they have to. Well, then they try to take a different, they try to make different turns about this whole thing. And, you try to back the police, right? And the district attorney. But In this one, there's this. It was hard. It was hard to because it wasn't true. I mean, some of the stuff that they were saying just wasn't true, and I think that's what we're finding out now in the Sandra Birchmore too.
Well, and
It's just,
what's it's interesting. You go from one shit show to another,
right.
and it's all. Unfortunately,
And it's
there's
one,
too many police officers involved in this that it's like
and
somebody
it's one
needs to look
area,
at this.
and it's one area.
Yeah,
That's the thing, and it's not only is it Karen Reed to Sandra Birchmore, but then there's a bunch of stuff in between, and it comes out about the state cops. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. Massachusetts state cops.
yeah.
I mean,
You hate to
I'm sure
bash
there's
them,
good,
but they
yeah,
keep doing
I'm,
stupid stuff.
and I'm sure that there's good cops. I'm sure there are good cops out there, but the bad ones are just outweighing them completely.
Yeah,
And they're giving bad names to all cops all over, basically, because you're always not gonna, you're always gonna say, "Oh, I wonder what's going on with that person."
when do you
So,
think they start turning on one another? You know what I mean? The good ones are like, okay, I'm
well,
done.
I thought that would happen by now. I really did. I thought
It
there'd be
didn't though.
more. No, not. I mean, not in the mass. I mean, it seems like. I mean, that was another thing that I thought was weird of the Karen Reed trials, that the Boston police, because John O'Keefe was Boston police, and none of those Boston police officers came to court for
Hmm.
the Karen Reed trial. It was just a weird. It was weird. It was a weird thing,
So they had
and
no whistleblowers at all, or did they?
it, um, I don't think they had. I don't think they had any whistleblowers. No. Um, I think. I mean, the people that watch us later, they can tell us if there was any whistleblowers, but I don't think there was any whistleblowers. Turtle Boy was finding out things, but they said it was all through Karen Reed. But he's found out other things, and you wonder, that he must know somebody that's given him some information,
Yeah,
because, but it's, I mean, that's all you need. Like you say, that's all you need is one person to start talking. Got to say
yeah.
hi to Danny from Red House Media. He is somebody that I told you that you need to watch. He runs the program over there. That's where Mary B's on, and Stupid April, and they got a bunch of people that he
Stupid
brings
April.
in.
That's really her.
That's her. That's what she goes by, Stupid April.
She isn't stupid though, is she?
I don't know. She's not, but that's just. I guess that's like my Mad Stork thing, right?
Yeah. Well, we
You
know
know,
you're mad. I mean, some
and
people.
I told and the Mad Stork thing is, back when I was like really young, we had the CB radios, and that was
Oh, I
my name on
remember
CB
that.
radio.
We talked.
Yeah. So I mean, that was my name there. And my Mad Stork, that whole thing is about Ted Hendricks. He was my favorite football player at the
Oh
time when I
yeah.
was a young kid. He's a linebacker that played with the Packers for a year, then went out to Oakland and played the rest of his career. Started out in Baltimore, but I always liked him, and so he was named Mad Stork, and then his number is 83. So that's why I went with Mad Stork 83. See, it's not smart, pretty clever.
Whenever I think stork, I think of Fidrich. Wasn't he the stork in
No,
baseball?
he was the bird.
The bird. Stork, bird, right? Similar. Is there
So did
somebody
you
else that
see?
was a stork?
So did you see what because I want to come up with, because Danny's got such a cool name for his rat house. He calls them the chat rats, the people that come in the chat. And did you see where I said that we need a new name for ours?
Yeah, we got to think of something here.
So I put like 3 of them out there. Hang on a second. I'll give them to you, and you can tell me which one you like. And hopefully people will tell us what they like. And hang on a second. Now, let me get to it. Might take me a minute.
I was going to say Belgian boys, but I'm not Belgian. You are.
No, I'm German.
Oh, you're German. Well, I'm
German,
Dutch, so we can't go
German,
with that.
and my mom was all Irish.
Okay.
So here, where is this thing here? Definitely, let me see. Okay, so I put on X. I said, okay, and need a chat name for the subs for the new channel, and I said I like fledglings. What do you think about that one?
Okay, it's got potential.
That's the meaning of that is inexperienced person or new underdeveloped organization. That's us.
Well,
We're
but
underdeveloped.
we want to come off as not rookies, and we want to have some sort of level of confidence. So
Okay.
maybe we shouldn't be that one. We got to demonstrate and in
How
our
about
name that we know
how
what
about
the
the
hell we're
high,
doing.
how about the high flyers?
Okay,
The Mad Stork High Flyers, huh?
could be, could be
Or just a simple the flock.
the flock you. I'll put some thought to that this
So
week, this weekend. I'm at a wedding this weekend, as I shared with you, and they asked me about what the hell I'm doing, and I said I'm just following my friend Jeff, and we're talking about anything. And so they said, why do these people tune in? Well, they're interested, and
because
maybe they don't have anything else to do.
yeah, we're goofy. So
Yeah, just goofy. So they're trying to figure out what I'm doing, what we're doing. So I might take a poll. I have a little better feel what we're talking about today, and focusing.
right.
It's basically community interest type things. What
Just tell them like you say to everybody else, we're just a couple of wackadoodles.
we are wackadoodles. Yeah, yeah. I am. I'm an admitted wackadoodle, but on the right side of my doodleness. Maybe that's it.
No matter what, when somebody says, "Hey, Mark, what are you doing?" You're still going to have trouble trying to figure out what you are doing.
Yeah,
No
my
matter what.
wife is wondering what I'm doing down here now. I think she's just upstairs, like, you're just talking to Jeff. That's only an excuse for you and Jeff to talk for a couple hours, and bullshit and say stupid shit. And that's probably true, but hopefully, we'll start zeroing in on stuff that's of value that people can
Yep.
take, and it's thought provoking, not just wackadoodles talking.
And I want to have fun with it, all right? Because that's one thing that I like about Danny and the Red House Media. They have fun doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
They pick on some people, but they also give you a message, and that's kind of what I mean. I don't want it to be serious. I don't want anybody to come in here and just it's because the stories of themselves are serious.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, when you're talking about the Sandra Birchmore story, that is the most sick, serious story you can get to. I mean, a young girl being groomed by cops, people that you're supposed to trust, right? That
Right.
you should trust, and they take advantage of her and do what they did. It's a sick story.
Yeah.
And how do you? I mean,
How do you make light of that? I don't know.
I don't know. That's like when I was in radio. How do you make light of something after you've heard a bad story in the news and you come back out of it and you got to be hyped up and ready to go and have fun? I mean, that's just tough to do. It really is tough to do. And so, I mean, we're going to try that. We're going to keep it as light as we can keep it. We're going to pick on people. We're going to go after, and talk about the JFK show offs when he's acts stupid and talk stupid. And like I said, this other woman, the tragedy girl, we're going to talk about her too. And I mean, there's others that we can talk about. They're just, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Some of the things they say. And it's kind of funny because the ones, Mark, that are talking foolish, they use their content to talk about Turtle Boy, how much they hate him. All right. And I don't want to do that. I want to bash. I mean, I'm not a complete turtle rider, like he calls him, but I do believe in the First Amendment. And I do believe that he's getting shafted with some of the charges that he got for witness intimidation, and this whole restraining order with his ex-girlfriend is crazy. But to be a complete turtle rider, no, there's some things that I probably disagree with.
How do we get, though, Jeff, from not being like a bunch of chickens? I feel like, if you know what I mean, I don't want to be a gossiper and all
Right.
that, and we can just talk about everybody else's life and tragedy, but try not to be the gossiping chickens that.
Well, I guess then we shouldn't have brought up the Vrabel story, right? Because that's gossipy.
Yeah, it's all a lot of Turtle Boy, all that stuff is gossipy. It's like we got to start plowing our own road.
Like I said, if I'll send you the link of Rat House Media, and you watch some of their shows, and I think you'll see too that that the presentation is really good. Broken Baker, the other guy that I was telling you about, I like his presentation. The sarcasm is great. He's funny. I think if we can do, we're still going to have to report the bad stuff. All right. Because that's going to be our channel. We're going to report what's going on in Massachusetts. And now, everybody's going to go, well, what's two guys sitting in Wisconsin know about Massachusetts? Absolutely nothing.
I knew they had a tea party once. That was pretty fun. A little out of hand.
The reason why I got Mark involved is because Mark used to be in the insurance industry and traveled out to Boston to, I don't want to get into that whole thing, but did a lot of things out there trying to do insurance and all that with some insurance agencies, right? Isn't that how it worked?
Yeah, exactly.
And so he was out in the Boston area, knows the area, knows some people, knows some firemen. We got to get a hold of them.
Yeah.
And get them on. Don't know where they're from. You didn't know. You got to find out where.
I don't have the exact time and date, but I already got my feelers out to get their contact so I can talk to them maybe this weekend.
And I have a friend that's in Florida that used to live in Canton, Massachusetts. And I've been trying to get her on with me for a long time. And hopefully now she will come on and talk about her. She grew up in the Massachusetts. She was more west of Boston, but I want her to come on and talk about when she lived in Canton. And she knows all the stuff that's going on there too. So as we go, we'll get going with that. But what else you got today?
I just got a lot of opportunities to talk to some alcohol-infused people at a wedding that's coming up. And there will be some content that isn't from the East Coast, but I'm sure there's going to be some interesting activities at this wedding because I think alcohol is a primary focus of what's going to happen here. So not me though.
So are they going to ask you tonight? Because there's got to be don't worry about that. That was me calling. Okay. So they're going to go. So tonight you got the dinner. Don't they have like a pre-dinner for the wedding? So
now those things have turned into a wedding party. So it used to be just the rehearsal, people that are in the wedding and families. Right. Well, now they invite a lot of friends and family that'll be there, tomorrow night. So tonight there's going to be 100 people at this little pregame party. And there'll be some wackadoodles in here saying some stupid shit.
So how many times are you going to have to go over what you're doing now?
That what? A lot, because I'm trying to figure it out, and maybe they have a suggestions. So they might be saying, what if you thought about this? And I'm going to say, well, maybe we did, and shut the hell up. So,
So did you? When you talk to those firemen, what happened is you go to Florida every year. And you get to
Florida every year for a couple months, and what we do, old retired people, we go down to the pool and we float around like a couple of manatees, and we talk about dinner, what we're gonna do, but we also talk a little bit about home. But if I would have put some thought to knowing that this venue that we're doing here was coming up, I would have focused my conversations in a different area.
Because the firemen, those are the ones that in Massachusetts I'd like to talk to. Because, like I said, this fireman, he was smoking dope all the time and drinking. A lot of drinking. And so, I'd like to hear what they got to say about that if they were in the area and all that. But
and then I got the politician up in northern or central New York. So he's right near all the craziness of New York, what's going on in what the hell is their capital? I already forgot it. So he knows about this. So he's interested in sharing the corruption that happens in Albany. That's capital of of New
we got to
York.
get him on then.
Yeah, we'll get Mello. He's a good cat. He likes to talk too.
What about the insurance guy in Boston? Do you think he'd come on with us and talk?
I think Dennis would.
Okay.
You know, who you talked to. We were on the phone with Dennis, and he seemed to have more than a firsthand knowledge of some of the shenanigans that are taking place. And
I mean, you'd think an insurance guy would know a lot of things going on out there.
Yeah.
You know, that he'd be the pulse of what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
he's an interesting cat. He likes to meet people. So I think, and then he knows other guys that are lifelong Bostonians. He's actually a transplant from Chicago.
Okay.
He grew up with the Wise guys and their family in the suburbs of Chicago. Is like, so he's you guys.
See, that was that was accessible and still is. I mean, Chicago is just a
hell yeah
place, and so there's a lot of things going on there. I mean, we can go to just about anywhere, I guess, but it like you said, the Massachusetts thing, it's just one after another, and the spotlight's on them. So that's something that we're going to talk about and do that. But
we don't want to make the people out east think that they're the only place that there's dumbasses. We'll give some examples of dumbassery
all
in
over
our area as well.
Definitely. And so hopefully we can get some people on from the area, give us a little bit more insight about the Boston area and Canton, Massachusetts. Now, the one thing I never knew, as I got into the Karen Reed thing, Canton, Massachusetts is home. See, right away. YouTube followed
It's my wife. She's like, "What are you doing?
What are you doing? You're downstairs talking to somebody."
So I just hung up on her. That?
But did you know that Dunkin' Donuts is from Canton, Massachusetts?
I didn't know that. I know that you drive around out there and there's a Dunkin' Donuts on every corner. I mean, every corner.
So I guess they got the main headquarters there or something.
Okay. So, I like Dunkin' Donuts. I like donuts. I don't care where they're at.
So,
I'm eating them.
And that's real good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not so much. Diabetes doesn't really like donuts. Well, actually, people with it like donuts, but being
diabetes
diabetic,
like donuts. So, but so what else was down in Florida? Let's talk about Florida. So, Florida is a big political hotbed. I mean, there's a lot.
It really is. But,
but what do you got going there?
Yeah, what's interesting is that they're doing a lot of things right, with their crime and taking care of some stuff. But we have an interesting community right next to our RV park where we bring our trailer down to. Yep. And it's probably economically depressed. But what these guys do, it's a small little community. They have their own a Mardi Gras party. And they just crank it up. And I took my bike down there and I was a 1%er to say that in that group. But
your motorcycle you took down.
No, I took my bike, riding my pedal bike. I'm that close.
You still got that old Schwinn, that 20-inch with the high handlebar?
No, that one's been demolished. Yeah, we moved up. We went and bought an e-bike, But, you go in there and everybody is like, you can't go in those communities like that. I'm like, bullshit, you can't. I went in there. They were welcoming. They were encouraging. They had food I'm smelling it now and I'm not even there. It was good barbecue. They had some soups and things, but they had speakers that they stacked 7 feet wide and 8 feet tall.
Wow.
And they just blew. Well, they thought it was funny as I rode my bike in front of all the speakers. They cranked it and it almost blew me right off my bike and I'm flying backwards. So I was their entertainment. They didn't know, or I didn't know what was going to happen.
So where are all the people from, like in that area, like where you're camping? Is there a lot of people from Wisconsin, a lot of people from Minnesota? Where are they from?
Yeah, I would say the largest population is probably Indiana.
Okay.
And then there's a lot of people from Pennsylvania, a lot of people from upper East Coast, not so much the Carolinas, not so much New York City, but upstate New York, Delaware,
New Hampshire.
Boston, a lot of that, a lot of Canadians,
Okay.
you know, still came in, but a few people from Wisconsin, but mostly Indiana, Tennessee. You know, it's a pretty good mix of culture,
Right.
which is somewhat interesting because you talk about what's happening in their state, what they care about. A lot of people still like talking their politics, but what I like to know is their story. Is like you ask me, why that RV park? You know,
Right.
what keeps you here? You know, things like that. What did you do for a living? I mean, so many interesting occupations that these guys had and women. It just interests me a lot. And
A lot of hookers.
yeah, there's a lot of fishing going on. Yeah, we fish. Yeah. We go out in the boat and fish around and eat a lot of.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked you that question with your wife upstairs.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what you were talking about. You were talking about fishing, I'm sure. That's what you're, going out to Little Sturgeon.
Well, you said that it was
catch
kind of a depressed area, so I
No,
thought
just this little community. It's really sort of
Okay.
weird. It's really sad. And the last hurricane that went through, they still haven't fixed up all their houses. And so they got some fixing to do. But then there's right next door to them is our trailer park, which it's a pretty nice little piece of heaven. But we're very conscious about our community, our neighbors, and helping out when we can. We volunteer to help put on some roofs and soffits onto their house and redo some things.
so you
But
spent 2 months there.
2.5 months, yeah.
Weren't you in Louisiana before that?
I have a son that lives in Monroe, Louisiana, and it's sort of taboo, watching the news, I think, all over the place. He's building one of those meta centers.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of controversy. Is that a good thing for these data centers or not? But
So what is he finding out there? Does Monroe, Louisiana understand that?
Monroe, Louisiana is somewhat depressed as well.
Okay.
That's the home of Duck Dynasty, and they love all the jobs, but unfortunately, they're going to bring in 6,000 to 7,000 tradespeople.
Okay.
Now, all those skilled people aren't in Louisiana, so they're coming from all over the country.
Right.
And then once this is built, most of them are going to go away, and then this huge data center, which is 1 mile by 4 miles. It's unbelievable, the footprint.
Wow.
And a lot of it's green space and water control and ponds and things. And then they'll probably have about 5 to 1,000 people left over to run it. So there is a strong economic benefit for having this data center. We need them.
Right.
But a lot of people, they have some strong opinions of these data centers, and I don't have all the answers, and some of the stuff is BS and some may be legitimate.
Right.
Like here in our own backyard, I mean, they want to put in a couple of them, and they're talking about water depleting our water table. Well, we got Lake Michigan, so that's not such a thing, and property values, but it does bring jobs and economic growth. And right now we need these data centers to do whatever they have to do. But so he's in Monroe.
So did you get a chance when you were in Louisiana to go frog gigging?
We didn't do frogging, but I did eat some frog. Duck fat.
Really?
Is something you fry your hash browns and french fries. It's very good, but you can't put too much in it. It tastes pretty bad. Because I bought some and I did it, and I put probably a little bit much. A lot of crawfish, if you like Cajun food.
I like to call them crawdaddies, and that drives Tracy Broussard nuts when I call them crawdaddies.
Oh, man.
But you like them?
I love them.
Really?
Yeah, my son, when he moved in, his buddy, Johnson Hebert.
Bobby Hebert was
Bobby Hebert, but Johnson right away said, if you're going to live in Louisiana, you need to get a crawfish pot. And it was huge. We put 40 pounds of crawfish in one pot.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So they're like what little? What are they? Little
they're
lobsters?
they're just like we have up here.
I've never seen a crawfish up in Wisconsin.
You never saw a crab?
Oh, so it's like
We
a
went
crab.
fishing with crabs, right? That's all they are. They're the exact same thing, except ours are freshwater and theirs are freshwater,
You know,
brackish. But
Huh.
yeah, you get crawfish up here, boil them up, and they taste like what they got down there.
Let's see. I didn't know that.
Look at that.
I thought the only thing up here was smelt that you could go and get them.
Oh, the
Bite
smelt.
the heads off of them.
Oh man,
You know.
our friend Joe P. He liked to bite heads off the smelt, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I did it a couple of times after I had a couple of whiskeys in me. I know
Yeah,
what the
used to
heck,
do that.
you know.
But yeah, down there, the crawfish. I mean, it's a challenge sometimes just to clean them, and you get this little tail. You know,
Right.
there isn't much left, but boy, they're good. And Johnson, you know, his family, they're Cajun and got some good roux for some jambalaya and.
Did you ever have the boudin?
Boudin?
Yeah.
I think I did. What is it? Tell me.
I don't. I have no idea.
Oh, that's a sausage. I think that's a sausage.
I pick on Tracy about it.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
even know if I'm saying it right. I think it's
Yeah,
like
you-
boudin or something.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's all good. But the best thing for the, you know, us diabetics is the bonnets. They're like a deep fried pastry, and you put powdered sugar over it.
I bet you that's real good.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
I mean, the hot sausage and all that down there is not good for us either.
I
mean,
love the hot sausage.
It's all processed though. It's not good.
That's true. Well, you just got to kill your own stuff.
But did you ever notice that there's a lot of like 100-year-old people out of the South that, you know, ate the grease and all that kind of stuff, but they're still living, 100 years old? What's up with that?
Well, look at our ancestors. You know, my dad's 94. I mean, they're not
Right.
all living that old, but he grew up on bacon grease and eggs and hash browns and stuff
Right.
and potatoes and steak. You know,
So where do we go wrong? Why do we feel like we're 94?
because we started eating processed food and all that convenience stuff and going to McDonald's and having French fries all the time. You know, that's where we went wrong.
So is Florida a good place to be for that 2 months? I mean, is that
Oh yeah.
is that better than Arizona, you think?
Yes, because it's not brown like Arizona. I think
Okay.
if you want a dry, humid, or lack of humidity or lack of moisture, go to Arizona. Brown is good. You know,
Right.
Me, Florida, I like having the Gulf of America close by, and I can go fishing, and I like green yards, not rocks and boulders and gravel. If I wanted to go to the moon, I would, go to the moon.
See, and I just don't travel. I just don't do it anymore. I traveled so much when I was in radio. I think
Yeah.
that's the reason why I just don't have the energy to do it, because, in radio you get fired, so you have to find another job. So you go to the next place. And I mean, I think 1 year in the '80s, late '80s, I had 13 jobs in 10 months.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So, I mean, you just get sick and tired of moving and going anywhere. So I like to stay home, and I don't like the cold though. I'll say that. I don't like the cold.
Yeah, I think you should find a place to get down into Florida for a few months and, get that warmth in you. I tell you, it's got to be good for your joints and all that stuff, and not having this cold weather and getting your ass outside.
I need to find a nice rich lady.
That helps. that helps, and there's a few of them down there.
One that has a house and a guest house.
Yeah, there's some down there, Jeff. You got to go to that app.
I think that's where I got to find the app. I don't know what app it is, but I got to find that.
There's got to be an old lady app.
But that's going to be our show. We kind of run down that. As far as me, my thing is I was in radio for a long time, and now I do commercial voiceovers and have my little studio in my place and keep myself busy doing that. And then wanted to do this whole YouTube thing because, like I said, Tracy and I, we do our show there is Over the Line. It's a sports show We talk about the Dallas Cowboys, who he's a big fan of. I talk about the Green Bay Packers, who I'm a big fan of. And so then we clash and we go at each other a little bit. But so, that's going to be separate from this. But I'm going to still, Tracy's not into the drama of Massachusetts. He said, what are you guys doing? But I think we could get him in it. I think we could. Right now I'm trying to get him to stop and see Danny from Red House Media, because Danny, I think, is in Mississippi. Tracy is actually in Louisiana, at his hometown in Louisiana, until Monday. I think he's going back to Nashville. So he drives back and forth. So he'll be going through Mississippi. So I told him he's got to stop and see Danny from Red House Media, get some pointers for us and everything. But for 4 years, we started, I think, right about COVID, and we did it on Facebook. We didn't even branch out to YouTube. It was mainly on Facebook. And when we started, it was like we were just doing this for ourselves. That was it. We just wanted to hear ourselves talking. And we got some, we had like 1,300 people on our Over the Line page. Of course, that's not helping us here because they don't want to come to YouTube. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah. But I'm trying to push them to YouTube. And so what I need everybody to do is share this, and then we're going to have to get the likes, and then we're going to have to get subscribers. I want 100 subscribers by the end of the day. Is that too much to ask for? No, we got 75.
We'll get it.
We need to get it. 100.
So Jeff, explain to people, if they wanted to share to get people on, what is the address they need to send to their friends so they can.
That's all they do is at YouTube. You got the button that says share. You got a little thing it's a little hook that goes forward. You hit that, you share it to your Facebook, you share it to your YouTube, you can share it to Twitter, wherever you want to share it. And a lot of people put it in Discord. I'm not a Discord guy. I don't know what Discord's about.
What Discord is? I don't know what it is.
I don't know. That's something that Red House Media, Danny probably could help us out with, because I know he's on that. But there's a lot of them that, that's where the hippie, she was hippie chick. Now she's hippie, I think 1973. But anyway, I think she was the one that put it in Discord first by the channel. And so that got a lot of people right away. That got, 50, 60 people in one day to subscribe. So we just need more of that, more people sharing.
Well, and I'm gonna share it with all my little friends.
And I put it, I tagged you today on Facebook, so it should be there, and everything. So all your people, your classmates, they should be, your classmates should be hitting the subscribe all the time, all the way through.
Damn them.
Especially
they're jealous of us, though.
Especially your friend Jay and your friend Dave. All of them should be hitting the subscribe.
They already disowned me. They already canceled me. Yeah, they were offended by a few things, probably.
What about your Lakeland community? They should be getting them.
I got a few. Of those, but I have some professional friends that are still there that are like-minded individuals. So I don't know what I got from Facebook. Maybe a couple hundred.
We need to get J7 in here, and I know she's probably watching MLC or somebody else, but we got to get her because she's an insurance person. I wanted you to meet her. I wanted you to.
Yeah, I would like to find out if our paths had crossed.
Yeah, I don't know. She's out in that, in the Boston area. I just don't know where.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's.
But so we're going to be doing that. My background is that. That's what I do, and did it for a long time, and I don't know. I think it was 2007. I guess it was. I moved back to my hometown, and I knew this young man for a long time. Knew the family for a long time. And he ended up growing up and being the number 37th pick for the Dallas Cowboys, of all people, of all teams.
Yeah.
And he was a center from the University of Wisconsin. And he had told me, he said, when I make it to the NFL, get ready. We're going to own a radio station. I laughed about it. Yeah, okay, whatever. Well, in 2007, he played out his option. He was in 2003, he was drafted to the Dallas Cowboys. And then he played out his option, became a free agent, and he went to Arizona, signed a nice contract. And he called me right after that and said, "Hey, do you want to own a radio station?" And I laughed again. And the next thing you know, very quickly, like within 6 months, we bought a radio station. And so I ran that for a few years. And that was fun. I mean, took everything that I was taught and put it into that. And it was a lot of fun. And made some money, didn't make some money, but then we made money again. And it was kind of basically a one-man show. So it was, I tried to get him involved because he ended up getting hurt with a knee injury.
That's right.
And he ended up coming back home and got him involved. And I was doing the morning show. I was running it. And then I put him in the morning show. And he found out that he didn't like radio as much as what he thought he was going to like radio, the getting up and actually doing a job and all that kind of stuff. And plus, radio doesn't have NFL money. It's not instant NFL money. So that's tough to get used to too. So, but had fun though doing it for a long time. And then I stopped doing that. We sold the station, and then had an opportunity about 2 years after to work in the Milwaukee market for.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And that was a dream come true. I mean, I always wanted to make the Milwaukee market, and got a chance to do that. And that was a lot of fun, and went to a lot of Brewer games while I was down there. And and then, like I said, for a few years, I sat around doing the voiceover stuff. And then, like I said, COVID hit, and Tracy and I talked about doing the over the line thing. And so we did that. And then we branched off. I branched off and going to try this. Now, I probably late. I should have probably started this when I first started watching the Karen Reed trial.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot to talk about then. But we'll catch up. I mean, there's going to be other things, because I don't think Massachusetts is going to clean up that fast. I just have a feeling it's going to be a slow process out there. So, but we're going to try to get together at least, we're going to try to be consistent with this and try to get together at least a few days a week and see what happens. I would like to do like a pre-show, like Rat House Media does a pre-game show to Turtle Boy on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And I'd love to do a pre-game to the Rat House Media, where we go right in, where we take our 10 listeners and push them over to Rat House Media to get them ready for, the Turtle Boy stuff. So I think that would be a good goal to have. And, but anybody else that wants to have input on what we do, please send us a message, and we'll talk about stuff. If you hear stuff, whatever it is, we'll talk about it. And, but right now there's so much going on out east that I think that's where we have to at least start. And, but if you're looking for us to bash Turtle Boy, not going to happen. Not going to happen, because I believe he's getting railroaded. And so it's not going to be a bash. I mean, it would be an easy way to get people to listen. I guess the people that hate him is crazy, but no,
aren't we? We're more about, can't we all get together?
I'm more lovable. I'm more lovable.
Peace, harmony.
I'm more lovable
stuff.
So
you're lovable.
Yeah, I'm more lovable than there's no reason to fight. But Mark and I have known each other since fifth grade. And so, I mean, it's been a long time. And I kind of talked him into doing this a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, he's not doing anything. He's retired. So
I got projects, and that's why I'm limited in my airtime.
Do you got projects, or you got your camper sitting outside in your driveway again?
Yeah, it's in my driveway, but I got to finish unpacking and got to clean it, got the garage.
We got summer coming. You're going to be using it more.
Yeah, but you got to get it nice and tidy. Put stuff away.
Any trips planned that I should know about?
Not that you should know about, but I would like to get up to Marquette up in the UP of Michigan. It's beautiful. It's Munising Painted Rocks. They have all these cliffs and caves that
Okay.
Lake Superior has. That would be pretty neat. Then it's just the regular trips, and I'm going to be flying around more than driving around. I got some grandbabies I got to go see,
Okay. All right.
and that'll be a trip coming up to
Don't you?
Monroe.
Do you have somebody still in Montana or not?
They got married in Montana. Now they live in
Okay.
Seattle, outside of
Okay.
Seattle.
All right.
So I
Okay.
got to fly out to Seattle because they're going to have a little girl in May.
Oh, well.
And so that'll be fun. Seattle's area is pretty nice. The city turned into a shithole, but the mountains, the water, all good things. The food.
So you got some things coming up, and like I said,
Yeah.
we're going to try to do this a couple of times a week, and we appreciate everybody that checks it out. Again, hit the like, share, and the subscribe, and let's get to 100 subscribers today. By the end of the day, let's get tonight, midnight. If we can get to 100, that'd be great. So that means the people that are watching it now live need to share, and then you also have to have other people share. So we just got to, this whole word of mouth thing. We got to make it happen, and that means you mark on your Facebook. You got to mark it now, just like your insurance. You got to market it now.
I'm going to get on it
and get people on this thing and get them subscribed. And like I said, if you get to 1,000, and then you have to have so many hours viewed in YouTube, you can monetize. You can do the chats where you send money and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I just would like to get to 1,000. I don't worry about getting the money. It's just if we could get to 1,000, that'd be kind of cool.
Because we feel we got so much important stuff to share with our audience.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to share.
We do it for free because we like to talk about our shit.
Yeah. So I think that's what would be a good thing. Yeah. So,
venison.
All right. Well, you got a big wedding coming up, and I'll let you get to that. And we'll get together. Maybe we'll see what you're feeling like after the Manhattan night on Saturday night, and see what Sunday looks for you later in the day. And then we can talk about the wedding, talk about the wackadoodles you met.
Oh, there's going to be a few. There's always a bunch of wackadoodles in Wisconsin. We'll be eating cheese and drinking old fashions, Wisconsin old fashions. Not that
no
stuff
Manhattans.
I'll be doing the Manhattans, but at a Wisconsin wedding, it's always
old fashions. Yeah, that's true. Chicken and old fashioned.
What's that?
I said chicken and old fashions. That's what
chicken
the wedding.
Old fashions. I don't know what they're having. Tips, chicken.
Oh,
I don't know.
right.
But I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. I love roasted chicken.
Well, you have fun and get
All
upstairs.
Right.
Tell your wife you're not crazy. You're not talking to yourself. She's probably worried about that.
All right. Well, everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Coming up, it's Friday. Let's go.
All right.
Talk to you later, Jeff.
All right. Hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe. Tell everybody come on over, and we're going to have some fun with this. It's going to be lighthearted most of the time, and we will touch on the serious stuff. We promise we will.
We will.
All right. Have a great day. Bye.
See ya.